right, here I'm going to go through the properties of exponents, using properties of exponents with rational exponents. Um, over here on the right, you see all the properties of exponents. Hopefully these are going to be very familiar to you. If not, make sure you memorize them and you know how to do these inside out, upside down, any which way you can. Very, very important. Well, in order to use the properties of exponents, we can use the same thing when we have rational numbers. If you have this property exponent states, if you have the same base, what do you do with exponents? You add them. So if I have 3 times 3 halves times the 3 halves power, I can basically take 3 to the 1 half and add that to the 3 halves power. When we do that, 1 half plus 3 halves is going to give us 4 halves. 4 halves gives us 2. 3 squared is equal to 9. And that's our answer. Whenever you have an exponent on the outside, so like this, you're saying 4 to the 3 halves times 2. All right. And what we have then is going to be, well, 3 halves times 2 is going to be 4 to the third. All right. Which is 4 times 4 times 4, which is going to give us 64. Continue on. Have you ever noticed that you have an exponent, whether fractional or whatnot, on the outside? We can rewrite this as and distribute this through to here, as long as we're multiplying, and here. So we can have 3 to the 1 half times 4 to the 1 half. Remember, 1 half power, this is actually the same thing as the square root of 9 times the square root of 4, which is the same thing as 3 times 2, which is 6. Going through. And now we have 25 to the negative 1 half power. Well, whenever you have a negative exponent, we know it's going to be a reciprocal. So we're going to have 25 over 1, and then we're going to take to the 1 half, which we know is the square root of 25. So we're going to have 1 over 5. See how easy that is? Continuing down, if we have values that are in the denominator, once again, we can switch these up and write them as negative exponents. So we have 6 to the 5 halves. I'm going to multiply that by 6 to the negative 1 half, because that will bring it up to the numerator. So because they are the same, I'm now going to add my exponents together. So it'll be 6 to the 5 halves minus 1 half, which gives me 6 to the 4 halves power, which is then 6 squared, which will give me 36. All right. One more property. Once again, same thing, very similar to this property, the distributive property of exponentials. But if we have 8 over 27 to the 1/3 power, what we can do is we can distribute this 1/3 both into here and to here because they are multiplying. So 8 to the 1/3 over 27 to the 1/3, which is 2 over 3, because the cube root of 8 is 2, and the cube root of 27 is 3, and that's what we got. So properties of exponents are the same properties as when you have rational exponents. You're dealing with fractions, but once again, when you're doing it, key thing to remember, this is the root. The numerator is the power each time when you do a rational exponent. All right. Well, I hope this helps you out. Good luck and God bless the rest of your problems.